this next section. So how are we feeling about making your list? Is your brain open? It's telling you got lots of options, lots of directions to go, lots to explore. Okay, this is awesome. Now we're going to move into the system. Okay, and I want to hit on this really quickly. We've got some new people, we have some seasoned people. Let me tell you, this is a conversation as you build a team. You're going to have this conversation every week for the rest of your life. If you have a big team, you're going to have this conversation every day for the rest of your life, as long as you're building a network marketing business. Who's excited about that? Okay. So what happens is we have a system in place, and we're going to beat that into you because the system is residual income. Like, you hear me? The system is residual income. When we say the system, what do we mean? What do you mean the system, Shanna? What do you mean the system? Like, is anybody brain giving them a little bit of kickback? What's the system mean? What does the system mean? Okay. It's very simple. It is using a third-party tool. Okay. And it's really two pieces. This is how my brain works. And it just is so simple to me. I hope this works for you. I think of it as two pieces of the system. It is the asking. This is your action to the what. Okay. You are not asking if you're if you're asking, you're not asking, like, you're not the what. Something else is the what. Does this make sense? Ask to the what. So we're going to talk about the what, and then they're going to tell you how you do the ask to that particular what, because there are different tools in your toolbox, right? So you want to know, we're going to cover in-person events. We're going to cover hybrid events. We're going to cover using calls. We're going to cover using messages, and we're going to cover, what am I missing? Videos and Zooms. Okay. And again, high level, this is just all the things just really quick. What are the top things to keep of mind? Because listen, one thing we always want to honor, it is not an extensive, exhaustive list of what to do, strategies or skills. It is your mindset that you're like, when Lindy said, it's just a post a day. How many of you have been in the place of, I have to post every day? That's not what she thinks. She thinks it's just a post a day. No big deal, right? She gave you the secret sauce. That was it. You could forget everything else that she told you. And if the only thing you thought was her mindset, it's just a post a day, you literally will change your business. Y'all hear me? Okay. Awesome. So the ask to the what, that's all I have to take a minute to do a setup. We're going to go ahead and move into in-person events. Why do we start with in-person events? It's like, I want you to see, those of you that are analytically minded, I'm going to paint you the whole picture. So the rest of you pause for a second. This is more information than you need. But we start with an in-person event to something because that's generally how you are used to getting with your friends and family. So when you're looking at your first wave of people, it's normal. Like last night, I had a ton of people in my barn, all family and friends. Everybody plays dominoes, drink. Like, this is normal for me to invite those people to my physical area and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, whether it's for you or not. Let's start here, right? And okay, and then what happens is some of those people can't come. And so then you're talking about, okay, well, then what is my tool for the people who can't come? And so we open up a new set of tools for the toolbox. And then those people who maybe couldn't come to the Zoom, there's another set of tools that you're unpacking and using to get the information. So it is a progression. And in order to get to the other tools, you really we found it's easiest to start here. Okay. Does that make sense? This all good? Okay, so I want to go ahead and introduce the queens of in-person. They are rocking the Dallas area. This is Amy Lafitte and Chase Secure. You on here? Yep. I don't know who's going first, so I'm gonna hand them the floor. Perfect.
Yes. Awesome. Well,
Oh, sorry, I just accidentally muted you and trying to spotlight you.
You're good. You're good. I'm excited to talk to you guys about in-person events. And I know we're in a post-pandemic world, but all of your leaders that have been in network marketing pre-pandemic, they rock in-person events. In fact, I used to think like my productivity was based on the mileage on my car. And a lot of us I used to be called the road runner in a previous company. Some of us were always like on the road, right? And so I think in-person events are fantastic. And I do occasionally still get pushback now post-pandemic, like, do people even like in person? Yeah, they do. And, you know, I will tell you first off, like, because of us being in the society we are now, people are craving community more than anything else. A couple other things you'll see happen at in-person events that don't always happen and translate to virtual, even though I love that we're all here today virtually. I know we're all over the country, so this is wonderful, but it really helps raise belief in somebody who is looking at something for the first time. They're in an experience, and it's a really powerful experience. There's more emotions happening. There's more excitement. And here's the thing I love the most. If you're someone who doesn't like things to be just hanging in the balance, if you bring somebody to an in-person event, a decision will be made at the event. So whether it's a yes or whether it's a no, you will actually know. I don't know if you've ever done a Zoom and then you somehow can't get a hold of the person, or, you know, something weird happens. You actually get a decision made. So I love in person. And there's really two kinds of in-persons that we're really doing here at 3. The first is in-home parties. And we'll talk a little bit about that. The second thing is corporate events. That's where 3, the leaders are coming around. Maybe Lauren is coming into your town. Maybe that's where some of the corporate leaders are coming in town and doing a super Saturday or a regional. We're going to be doing more regionals in the spring. So first I want to talk to in-home parties. So really what I love with these is it could be as simple as, just like Shanna said, you inviting some people over to your house. Some of your family, some of your friends come over to your house, and you're getting to share the 3 opportunity with you. One thing that you can do to really elevate this, just like we were talking about having a third-party resource. Now, obviously, if you're doing an in-person event, the first thing that's going to be third-party is the PowerPoint, right? So they're going to get to see that, and they'll get to see the product. But outside of that, how can you elevate it with some sort of third-party validation? So that's where you may have a leader. A lot of times you will have a leader that's coming and helping you present, but you may be somewhere where a leader's not coming to your town. Maybe you're wanting to do this and you totally could. A second option that you have is being able to have somebody else that's a brand ambassador with 3 help present with you. I love this. Like, a lot of us in this business, like, you'll see Lindy and Lauren presenting, me and Shanna presenting. You know, a lot of us will do that, and one of us will do the front part, one of us will do the back part. I love that because it's 2 different personalities, it's 2 different perspectives. I think it brings a lot to the audience. Let's say you're like, Amy, I live in a town and my leader's not coming, and there's no brand ambassadors by me. I'm like, what do I do? So what I would do in that situation is, do you have a couple of people, maybe it's like your best friend and your mom, but do you have some people that are on products that are customers that have had a good experience? That's your third-party validation. Bring them to the event and have them share their testimony on what the products have done for them. So those are all some things you can do. Later on, Shanna and Faith are going to talk about hybrid. So you'll hear about even how you can have somebody Zoom into your living room, or another way where you can have somebody else presenting. But I don't want to go into that now. So, but I just think that's a really great thing to know of how you can kind of elevate. So let's talk about the different ways that you can invite. And I'm going to share screen if I can. So for an in-person, Shanna, do you have a way where you can make it where I can screen share?
I made you a co-host. Is that not coming through?
Let me
That's
see.
that's all you need to be able to share screen.
Oh, it's working now. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. All right. So you have your health invite, and a lot of these start out the same. So it's like, hey, Nicole, what are you doing Wednesday at 7 o'clock? You're first finding out if they're available. I like doing that in my invites. I never saw that when I was in a million other companies, and I would get somebody really excited. Hey, I've got this great muffins and makeovers. It's going to be, you know, at my house, blah, blah, blah. Can you come? It's Saturday at 10. And then they're like, no, I can't. And I'm like, can you not come because your kid has soccer, or you can't come because you don't want to do muffins and makeovers, and I shouldn't invite you again? I don't know if that ever has been awkward for you, but that's been awkward for me. So just knowing, like, clearing their schedule before I'm even inviting to the event is super helpful. Most of your invites probably will be health. I feel like that's really easy. I like these invites, by the way, too, because it's not about you. It's about the other person on the other end of the line. What's in it for them, which is always what people are listening for. So the health invite is, you know, hey, this has really helped my family in X, Y, and Z. I know that you've mentioned you have these specific problems. I'd really love for you to hop on my Zoom. I'd really love for you to come over to my house, get some more information, no obligation, of course, so can you make it? So I love these invites because they're very quick. They have enough information to know what they're being invited to. And if, you know, like if they can come, like what it's all about, and get straight to the point of asking them. The wealth invite is very similar. It's like, you know, hey, are you available this day and time? This has really helped my family have an additional stream of income. I thought of you because you're very successful. I thought of you because I love this one. One of my friends, Mary Kay, says, I thought of you because I really respect the way that you run your life. So if you have someone who maybe doesn't have like a corporate job or whatever, but they like manage their life well, they are someone who can manage everything well. So they could totally rock a business, right? So I thought of you for whatever reason. Anyway, I'd love for you to come over to my house, get a little bit more information, no obligation, of course. So can you make it? And then the friend favor, my least favorite, but if they don't fit into health and wealth and you're like, I still want to invite them, they're in my life, then this one is great. I'm needing a friend favor. Can you come support me? I'm finally doing something for myself and I'm really excited. I just need to know I have someone to support me. So can you be there for me? So anyway, I will later on post those in the chat so you've got them. But that's just some really easy, quick ways you can invite to in-person. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chase because Chase has a totally different personality style and has some really fun ways where she invites to home parties as well as how she invites to corporate events. And so Chase, I'm going to let you take it away.
Hey girl, hey. Yeah. Oh my God, this training has been amazing. I'm so excited. All the stuff. Thank you to all the leaders and everybody who spoke. I'm doing this, just so you know. Mindy, thank you for that smile, honey, because we are doing this, right? Okay, so let me get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. So yes, girl heart. All right, so I do invite very different. I'm going to give you 3 of the ones that I use for in-person, Super Dat Saturdays, corporate events, but anything in person. I just love it. Like Amy said, you get a decision. Whether it's a yes or no, you get a decision because I am a decision collector. Call me the decision collector. That's what I need, right? So my first one that I like to use is, who do you know that would like to earn an extra $1,000 a month without quitting what they already do? Most of our people are JOB people, right? And so sometimes when we mention them looking at something like, oh, I can't quit my job, I don't want you to. And for me, for someone who's held a job for so many years, that works. So who do you know that would like to earn an extra $1,000 a month without quitting what they currently do? I'm hoping when I ask this person this, they're going to say, well, duh, me, Chase. Right. But I'm asking, who do you know? Because now it makes it easier for me to talk to you because I'm kind of taking you out of like, I ain't worried about you. Who do you know? And they're like, me. Okay, great. And then I proceed with my invite. That's the one. I love that one. The next one I like to use is, people love getting compliments, right? Like we all love it. You can say you don't, but you do. We all like to be called cute and sassy and having all these things. So I like to be like, girl, you're cute, you smart, you ambitious, you got it going on. I need you to help me with my business. We like to help people. Help me evaluate my business. I want you to just come, take a listen, and I want your thoughts. Like I know you're all these things. And I also include, and bring a friend. I know you hang with people just like yourself, who's smart, funny, ambitious. So bring a friend, come listen. No, I don't need you to do anything, but just help me evaluate my business. They don't know nothing about my business. I don't want to know what they got to say, but when they get there, they getting in and their friend getting in. How about that, right? Like they're getting in and their friend's going to get in. I'm not letting them leave. So now, that's not funny. I kind of just trapped them and their friend because they're both getting in. Hello. Okay, so that, bring a friend, come on in. The last one I like to use is another like, not like indirect, like, I know this is not for you, but do you know anyone that's interested in earning some extra income? I don't put how much on that. Just, do you know someone who's interested in hearing about or earning some extra income? Because the world is just so expensive. I love the do you know anybody because it makes it easier to invite. And sometimes when you put an income on it, depending on where they are in life, you may or may not grab them. So sometimes, depending on if I don't really know a lot about what they're making or where they are in life, I don't put an income on it. I just say, do you know anybody who might be interested? Right. And so those 3 I use all the time. They can be tweaked, but I'll also drop them in the chat. And I also want to say this. So we're going to continue with inviting in person. So now we got our invite, we got people coming, but I want you to listen to this. I'm going to tell you a big secret. and this is what makes it easy for me. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to try. That sounds interesting. Girl, you crazy. No, I'm not coming. A yes is a yes. Anything but a yes is a no. So don't psych yourself out. Okay. So just remember, anything other than a yes, like yes, I'll be there, is a no. And that's okay. We're going to continue to invite and continue to collect decisions, because I've heard it all. Girl, you crazy. Okay, you're not coming. Thank you. But who do you know? I know you're not coming, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now that we invited, we got people coming to the event, right? So now the day of the event, whether it's a corporate event, Super Saturday, in person, we got them there. So now what you need to do is prepare for that. You're going to show up early, save your seats. Obviously, you're going to follow up, right? Follow up, show up early, save your seats. You're going to bring product. You're going to bring product, because what's worse than a friend of yours signing up, spending $1,500 and then going home to her husband like, I got this business, I spent $1,500, and he was like, well, well, crap, I ain't got nothing. He's gonna be like, well, go get our $1,500 back. I am the queen. I will give away collagen. I will give it away. You spend money with me, I'm giving it away. So bring product. Give it to them. Somebody signed up, my business is worth a box of collagen or a box of pure, whatever. I give it. Amy knows I'm the queen of, Amy, bring me some more product. I need some more product. I'll replenish. I be like, bring it all. Give it to them, because we want them to go home, have something to show their person that they started this business, right? So let's see what else. So we're following up. We're saving seats. We have paper applications, because I'm going to tell you how important this is at the end, right? So we get to the event. We're mingling. We're talking to people. The presentation is starting. It's going on. Do not talk during your presentation. I know we've heard it. We get excited. What you're supposed to be doing while the presenter is presenting is looking at your people, looking at who's nodding, who's raising their hand, who's shouting amen and hallelujah and praise and yes, I need this. So at the end, you know who you can go close, right? Because that's the best part, right? So you're paying attention. So now we're through the presentation, and we're going to go close. So we're going to hand out our applications. And what I do when I hand out an application and a pen, I say, here's your application, your pen. I want you to just write at the very top what you like the most. Like what you heard that you like the most, put it at the very top. So now I know when I start talking to them, what I'm going to start with, right? So example, I'm going to put, hey, I saw I can make money. Girl, me too. That's what I like too. Some of my friends say, I like the products. Girl, me too. I like the products too. Whatever they like, you like. Period. What you like, what they like, right? So now you got them, and you're gonna start your close. But just making sure, though, if you set yourself up with those couple things, at the end of the day, you're gonna get a decision. Like Amy said, yes or no, but either way, you get a decision. Now, my favorite part, and I'm almost done. When you get that first yes, I'm in, the application is filled out, you're gonna scream. I used to be like, they'd be like, what? Wait, what happened? She is a brand ambassador, she started her own business, and people just started signing up. Be excited. Just make it like we were screaming. And then after we knew it, the whole room would be signing up. We used to do Super Saturdays, 60 plus people. Me or Amy gonna get our first yes, and we're gonna scream. And then we're gonna scream again for the next person. So be excited. I know it's hard, but sometimes you just gotta be excited about what you have, right? And it makes other people excited. So I know I talk really fast. I will drop the comment, my list in there. But at the end of the day, I just want you to take this away. Be excited for what you have, and don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up. If you do not quit, you will win. See, I'm excited. Okay, back to Amy. I'm done. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. No, this is awesome. I love it. Thank you, Chase. You rocked it out. Love it. We're going to send it back over to, oh gosh, I didn't even look. Maybe Shanna, maybe you can tell me who's speaking next.
Actually, I'm gonna kick this to you for a second. Oh, actually, nope. It's me and Faith. It's coming back to you here in a little bit.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna switch. We're gonna talk a little bit about, was that okay? We're moving so fast, but Chase, literally, Amy, like, oh my gosh, that was fire, like absolute fire. I took so many notes, and I'm like, no wonder these girls are killing it and closing it. And not only that, it's like the cycle that because y'all are doing it so well, you're winning, and everybody that's a part of it loves it and wants to do more. And so no wonder Amy's like, this is like, we love it. It's fantastic. Do it all, So high fives, y'all's energy, everything was fantastic. I took so many notes. I'm going to be listening to that. And like, I always listen to videos really fast. I'll be slowing it down on Chase and like hanging out and pausing. Like, I want the replay on that. So good. Okay. We're going to talk about hybrid. Faith, where are you? Can one of the other co-hosts find Faith and pin her for me, please? So really cool backstory. Some of you, Autumn is in Canada. And Autumn and I started working together, and everything she did was social media. She's in the Making Babies season, and her and Faith connected on social media. So understand, Faith had not gone to an in-person meeting. I had not gone to an in-person, Autumn had not gone to an in-person meeting. Faith lives 9 hours from where Autumn is. But if you've met Faith at any of our events, she's absolutely precious and has a heart for people. So like we talked about, like some people just loving on people, encouraging them, making space for them, holding space for them. That is Faith. And so of course she wants to build her business in person, but how does she do that when, Autumn's not driving 9 hours with little tiny babies and presenting for her, nor am I coming to Canada and basically 10 months out of the year. So she has done hybrids, and she's done it a couple different ways. Faith has done it where we started where she would pick a time and I would zoom in, and it was really great because I got to see the face of her friends and family. They were really, she did so good at holding space and inviting them and transferring the questions to me over the computer. And so it was really, really beautiful. She's also been in a position where she's like, I'm going to play a video. I know how to open. I can answer their questions. I know to plug them into you and put them on calls or in group chats. I'm going to play a video. She's done both. And I would love, Faith, I'd love for you to just share, your experiences with both. What would be the information that you have to share with them to use those tools, if it's a good fit for them?
Okay, so at first, I wanted to just stick with just having one of the uplines or leaders zooming in, because I'm all about connection, and Shanna got my heart and Amy when I first joined. And so I was like, man, I just want everyone in my life to meet them as well, because they're and obviously Autumn got my heart as well. But but I just wanted everyone to meet the people who got me so inspired and involved in this. But then as I got further along the business, Shanna kind of pulled me out and was like, hey, let's just do a video. And it really scared me at first, because I was like, but I want them to meet you. I want them to talk to you guys. And then she reminded me, she's like, they're not here for us. They're here for you. The people you invite to your party, and the people you invite to come see the information and everything, they're here for you. They're not here to hear about Shanna or Amy or Autumn. They're coming for you. Because they want to see what you have to offer and the person that you are. And so I guess what I kind of thought about after that was the way that Shanna or Amy or Autumn inspired me is I'm that same for the people who are coming as well. And it kind of encouraged me in that way. And it also got me thinking that they'll join if this sits right with them. It doesn't matter the case on how they'll join. If the information or they're inspired or whatever they heard is what they need to hear, it won't matter the case and how the information gets to them, whether it's through video, whether it's through joining a Zoom or just hearing an in-person presentation. But I didn't let the fact that it wasn't in person or a live Zoom steal the connection from the product that I have, from my connection to the products and to the business and to the whole community. Anyways, I don't know if that made sense, but those are my thoughts.
So how do you invite, so you have people, she's done it where she has people all in her living room, and plays a video, or I Zoom in. You've also done kind of a mixture, like when I've presented or somebody's presented, some people join virtually, some are in person. I guess talk about, are there differences in how you, like if somebody were to have the people in their living room, how would you invite them, versus, because you wouldn't say, oh, I have somebody coming I want you to meet. What are some of your invites? Do they look the same as what some of the other leaders have shared? Is it the same kind of
Yeah.
invite?
Yeah, they're kind of similar. But something that I've kind of incorporated, because I have so many people I have so many friends actually all over the world, because I've gone to different places, but a lot of people I don't actually see in person and I'm really close with. And so I'll say, I really want you here, and like I can't have you here in person, so I would love to just connect with you over this Zoom or over a phone call. Like I would love to connect with you this way. It's like, obviously if you could be here in person, I would love that. But I would love to just connect with you anyways, and get this information to you somehow, because I don't know, I guess I love this person, you know what I'm trying to say? But
That's perfect.
it's more so just like, regardless of whether we're in person or not, and I would just love to be part of it anyways. So
yeah, and I have to give her a lot of credit, because when she says she was like, I literally threw it on her. She thought she was getting a live presentation, and I called her 2 hours before and said, I want you to play a video. And so when she's saying she had to work through that fear, she did it, and she did it fast, and she had an amazing event, and she did it in front. She had another team member there. And so it was fantastic. I'm really proud of you. So that's awesome. I love what video we're going to get to. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to the video section in a second. So, Faith, is there anything else that you wanted to share about, encouraging them to open up their home and do some form of a leader zooming in or playing a video?
I don't know. All the words that just keep on coming to mind is literally, if it's meant to be, it'll be. So it doesn't matter really. Well, it does matter, but whatever the case is, how you get the information to them, or how you get the information in front of them. It really doesn't matter. What will happen, what is meant to happen will happen. And if they're meant to join or be a part of it, it'll sit right. And you don't need to worry about that.
Just do your thing. Okay. Thank you, Faith. So good. Thank you. Okay. So next we're going to move into, so you've invited them to an in-person, maybe they couldn't come, or maybe you're not doing in-persons at all, and you're looking at utilizing tools like Zooms and videos. The short story is, don't overthink this. This is really simple. If you don't know what video you want to use, go to your upline or somebody that you trust and say, hey, what's your favorite video? They're going to hand it to you. We have videos on the boards. We want to make sure that you're using like the older videos talk about the founder's opportunity, and that's not here anymore. So that would be my only thing to tell you, is go get a fresh video that has one that is not the founder's opportunity and speaks to the Pro Pack. Okay, so that's it. That's find one that you like. You listen, you're going to use different ones depending on who you jive with. But again, like Faith said, there are going to be some people that you're going to be like, I love this presenter. And they're going to be like, that presenter gets on my nerves. I like this presenter. Again, don't overthink it. It all transfers the information, and that's not going to be a really big deal. Just pick what works for you. It's more about you doing your part. The thing that I want to tell you with Zooms and videos, this is very similar. I'm somebody who has built my business to the same degree using both in person. Yes, I was just like Amy. I put 800 miles on my truck every single week, and I go all over the state of Texas. And listen, I built a big business doing that. I also built a big business with a team that worked their phones and worked Zooms and worked videos, and we produced the exact same, 120,000 in volume in 4 weeks. Okay. Like over $100,000 in volume in 4 weeks, both ways. So don't get in your head that this works better than this. What works is what you when you work, it will work, right? And so here's some couple little tips. If you're using videos and Zooms, tell them what you're going to do. You're not just inviting them to watch a video, and you're not just inviting them to watch a Zoom. You are asking them to do that. And hey, if I send you a video, would you watch it? And they're saying, yeah, like, would this be easier for you? Like, you've invited them in person, you've invited them to Zoom. Hey, would it be easier if I sent you a 20-minute video and we talked afterwards? Would it be easier if you hopped on a Zoom tonight and we talk afterwards? Great. Notice I am setting up, this is a combo. You don't get a video without a conversation. You don't get a Zoom without a conversation. People, if you say they don't want to get on a call, that tells me nothing about your prospect. It tells me about you and your thought and value of getting them on a call with a leader. Does that make sense? Okay. If you're avoiding calls, you need to get on a mastermind and you need to work with a leader who can coach your thoughts. You have a belief that is slowing your business down because there's literally a tool in your toolbox that you're like, people don't want to use that tool. No, you don't want to use that tool. And the problem with that is, look at the case of Faith and Autumn. Autumn does not host in persons, yet somebody on her team is able to use that tool, right? It is important that you understand all the tools so you can pass a full toolkit to your team. It's the same thing. There are things that you just need to know. Okay. So with that, that's literally all I want to say about Zooms and videos. That's the key piece, is that you connect it with somebody, which brings me to the connect call. And this is where we're going to bring in Cassie and Lauren. I don't know who's speaking first, but we've got Cassie and Lauren. They are killing it on connect calls. Connect calls, I love them. As somebody who does them, listen, my close rate, if you want to get a new person to join your team, book a call with me. My close rate on getting them to start is nearly 100%. So is Lauren's. So is Lindy's. Your leaders are really great at this. Okay. But here's the thing. I'm good at it because I love it. Whatever you love is what you're going to be good at. Right. And so pay attention to what these leaders are talking about calls, and pick up on what do they think about these calls? Why do they love them so much? That's what you're trying to adapt your mindset to. Okay. Lauren and
It's me.
Hey, Cass.
I'm here. Yep. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to jumpstart this. So I just want to start with why is it important? I know Shanna kind of touched on it. Why it's important for you to connect with your family, your friend, your person, your prospect, however you want to deem them. For me, I'm always going to name them a family or a friend or something that makes it kind of personal to me. But the reason why it's important to connect them to a leader is that a lot of things that you're afraid is going to happen when you're talking to somebody, you're going to meet a bunch of objections, or you already have these preconceived ideas of this person's life, right? Because you don't know them. You're not walking in their shoes. You're only seeing what they allow you to see. And when you have a leader that has so much more experience than you do, they're able to handle those objections and get down to what the root problem is for that particular person, friend, family, prospect that you have, right? And then you don't have to worry about being on your own. So I've gotten this a lot as a leader, where somebody texts me, hey, somebody said this, how do I respond to this? Well, if we were in a three-way message, it would make it so much simpler to actually just answer the person. And generally the question or the objection that they have is not really what they want to know, right? So it takes time to be in this industry to get to be able to have those conversations where they actually flow in a normal conversation quality, right? So that leads me to my first point is, when we're talking about connecting to a leader, so it could be three-way messaging, okay? It could be a connect call. That's, one of the things that you have to figure out which route you want to go to, and it should be based on that person. Okay. So you need to know, do they utilize social media? Are they on Messenger? If you are, you're setting somebody up in Messenger, but they don't get on Messenger or social media but once a week, that's probably not a great place to connect people. If they never text message, so like my husband, he's never going to text message. That's not going to happen. So I wouldn't put him in a text message thread, right? So And then also connect calls. So there are some people that never want to get on a phone call. Okay. Never want to get on a phone call. So asking for them to get on a phone call is automatically going to create this anxiety for them. And the answer is going to be no, not because they're not interested and not because they don't want to talk to your leader, but it's because the activity makes them anxious. Okay. So let's see. That went through that. Okay. So the other thing is when you start thinking about, okay, well, it's going to be uncomfortable. Like I should know all of this information. And if I don't know all this information, you know, my friend, my family, my person is not going to, you know, they're going to have an issue with it because they trust me. Okay. Well, yes, they do trust you. They trust you to show them something that they should be interested in, but they are not going to expect for you to be the expert. They are going to trust you to put you with someone that is going to help them, right? So if they asked you, hey, you know, I mean, maybe if they were talking to Lauren, they would expect this answer, but hey, I'm about to build this house. And I was wondering, do you know of any, you know, person that could help me, you know, come up with the best prices for flooring? Okay. Well, you don't do flooring. So, but you know, a lot of people, so you can connect them with somebody, and that makes sense. But in this industry, for some reason, we make it weird. We make it awkward. We make it sometimes icky to connect them with somebody. So the first thing you have to realize is you're just having a conversation. Okay. You are just giving them a connection to somebody that has that information. Okay. So to stay away from icky feelings. And when I say icky, I'm not saying uncomfortable, because a lot of things that we do in this industry, are uncomfortable because it's not familiar to us. But when I say icky, so if you read a script and it feels like something foreign, that it would be absolutely nothing that you would say, you need to tweak it a little bit to make it more you, so that the person, your family, your friend, knows it's you speaking to them and you are truly connecting them with someone that is going to help them. Okay. So with that, then when you're connecting them, you have to, I don't generally ask for permission. I tell them I'm going to do this. Okay. So like if I know, again, they probably need to be open to what you're talking about before you're like, hey, I'm going to connect you with, and I never say the word connect, but I'm like, I want you to meet my friend, Lauren. She is the reason why I have done so well in this industry. She is the reason why when I first started, all those scary feelings went away. And I want you to experience the same thing that I experienced. So I'm gonna get you with Lauren. I'm gonna put you in a 3-way messenger, or I'm gonna put you in a text message, or I want you to get on a phone call with my friend Lauren. Whatever it is that you're going to connect them with, you're telling them what you're doing, because the first thing is when you ask them a question, they have to make a decision. And already they're getting information that they didn't know before, and already having to make a decision already kind of puts you in a spot of not being the director or the connector, because that's really the role that you play. You are connecting them to someone else. So like even Lauren will have me do calls for her, or she will put me in 3-way messengers. But when she connects them, she's not going to say, I don't know a lot about the science of the products. Well, we know that's not true. You want to be factual with it, right? You don't want to be providing them a scripted information that's not true. So what Lauren usually says, because it's true, she's a very busy mom and she doesn't want to not provide the information to her person, her friend, her family, her prospect, with the information when they're asking about it. So that's kind of how she opens it up. Okay. So for me, again, I utilize the fact that without Lauren, without Lindy, without Shanna, without Amy, without anyone that, whoever I'm utilizing for my leader, without them, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not have, whether it's I've learned more science information, whether it's that I needed, I need some help with, they're looking specifically for a business. Okay. So hold on, I have all these notes. I am, again, I'm doing a million things, so I'm busy today. Hold on.
Hey,
Okay.
Cass, why don't you just let me tell my perspective of what a group chat looks like real quick for a
Go ahead.
connect. So I want you guys to know that I too use this system, right? Like I use the three-way connection system, and Cassie does a lot of calls for me. Lindy and I both do a lot of calls together. So even me at this point, never take my calls by myself. I could, but I don't, because somebody else's story is the most important. Somebody else being the expert is the most important thing that I want to show a prospect. So once I get the I'm interested, tell me more, I immediately go to a three-way message, and I never ask for permission. This is something that I feel like brand new people feel like they have to ask for permission or, hey, is it okay if I put you in a three-way message? No, I never ask, because I want them to know that the reason that I do it is because, number one, I want them to know that I'm supported, right? Just to give you guys a quick example, I did a three-way message the other day with Claudette, and the girl was kind of in the beginning, like super defensive. And she was like, I just want Claudette to tell me the answer. And I said, listen, I know the answers and I'm going to give the answers. But the reason that I'm in here is because I want Claudette to always feel supported. I don't want her to be alone. I never want somebody to feel like they don't know the answer and that them by themselves. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay. And so always being in a three-way message with an expert, just always default to the expert, even if you know the answer. And so when I introduce somebody on a three-way message, I say, hi, this is my friend Cassie. She's a registered nurse of 25 years. She is incredible at this business. She is a product expert. She knows everything there is to know. She is going to answer all of your questions that you might have. And the reason that I've put you in this group is because I'm a busy mom. I'll just totally tell them like it is. I'm a busy mom, and sometimes I may not see your answer or your question, and Cassie will be on it in a heartbeat to follow up. And then she'll leave them an audio message. Audio messages are so important in group chats, because how many times have you read a text message the wrong way because you can't tell tone? But on an audio message, you can feel excitement, you can feel power, you can feel someone's story better. And so dropping in group chats and leaving them an audio message and being like, hey, I want to chat with you. When is a good time to chat? So basically what a three-way message does, or a group chat does, is lead up to a connect call. And it's weeding out the people who shouldn't be on a connect call in the beginning. Like, have you ever put someone on a connect call and you're like, oh my God, why am I talking to this person right now? Like, oh my God, this person's already in another company. They're not even interested. They weren't a qualified prospect. We just put them on the phone. That part takes that interested part to another level before you can get them on a connect. And just like Shanna said, they have 100% success rate right now. If you can get a prospect on a connect call and you can address their wants and their concerns and their needs and show them support and community. I can't tell you how many times at the end of a call, someone has said, I am so excited just about the support and the community that I'm going to get. And you're addressing that in a three-way message. Shanna, Cassie, we have had conversations where someone will say, I love that Lauren is so successful and has been so successful with this, and she still doesn't do this by herself. And that I'm going to have support, not just from her, but from you as well. So once we get in there, we take it to a connect call, we address the questions, and that is where we go for the close, and we go for the concern of, okay, so you're super fired up. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me what reservations you have. When are you ready to get started? And then you talk them through an action plan. All right, so when you get started, this is what we're going to do. Because if you can get off of a call, listen, this is really important. If you can get off of a call, giving them an action plan of what to do before they even join, they are 100% more on board, because you've already told them what to do. You have made the decision for them. in their head that they are going to do this based off of the next steps that you gave them. So that is what is important on when you're on a connect call. But even on a connect call, getting someone to the point of being like, okay, tell me what your reservations are. You're just there to be the expert, to, you know, how we talk about like when someone is like, well, I don't have the time, well, I don't have the money. You know, we often talk about feel, felt, found, and how we're using that. If when you're addressing all of those things, and then I will just leave y'all with this. After the close, after we've done a three-way chat or a group chat and we've done a connect call, it is on you as a leader to be the follow-up. Because if you leave it to your person who's brand new in there and they aren't confident and they are nervous and they are anxious about like, how many times do I check in with them? How many times do I ask them if I'm ready to get started? For you, it's less pressure. You take the icky out of them and you be the bold one. Lord favors the bold. I can tell you how many times right now from the beginning of 6 years ago that I can tell you my success is 1000% because I'm bold. I am bold about every aspect. Social media, closing calls. When are you ready to get started? Are you ready to do this? I'm ready to help you. So be sure that you are the one on a connect call. After the connect call is over, be sure you always put them in some sort of communication chat after a call, whether it be a group message or a group text message, so that you can be the one to follow up and say, hey, I've sent you the necessary information. What information do you need to help you make a decision that you can do this? Okay, what information do you need that can help you make a decision that you can do this and that you're going to be successful at this? You send them the necessary steps. Hey girl, I sent you all the information. Did you get a chance to look over it? Are you ready to go? Did that fill all the need for you? Are you confident now that you can do this? And let's get them signed up.
I love that.
Back to you.
I want to add, when you're trying to, everything that you do, Lauren, chime in on this. I want to hear if you're at an in-person, Amy and Chase, does every person end up in a call or a text with the leader? If somebody's on a Zoom, everybody ends up in a call or a text with the leader. Every person, do you hear everybody when you're talking system? If you have somebody on a Zoom and you sign them up yourself and you get them squared away, do you understand that until you've plugged them into somebody else to help support them, you're not fully in the system and you're not fully in residual income duplication yet? You can sell 30 people and you're not going to have the same business as somebody who sold to 30 people or enrolled 30 people and put them on a call with a leader and plugged them into a system. One of those is entirely different. I will also say, when Lauren's saying the leader should follow up, if I'm your leader, you may need to text me and remind me to follow up in that chat. I work full time. Yeah. I do not have time to scroll back and see who's not answering. That's on you. Just message, hey, Shanna, will you go ask so-and-so if she has any questions?
I appreciate
just message your leaders. Yeah.
And real quick, if you are a leader, following up with what you said, if you are a leader and you are hosting Zooms and you do an in-person Zoom for somebody, be sure that you say at the end of your Zoom, thank you so much, Cassie, for having all of your friends and family come on and take a look at this opportunity tonight. Cassie is going to put you in a group message with me. That way you've already established and that person doesn't have to feel icky or ask for permission. You say, Cassie's going to put us all in a group message at the end. That way I can directly answer any questions that you might have.